Now, if you are looking into astrology, right here on this wheel that we're looking at is really what Rabbi Yaakov Kronenberg wants to teach us, is the difference between the astrology of the world, which is also based on the wheel, and the astrology of the Jews. In the astrology of the Jews, there are 5 different levels that Rabbi Yaakov told us about. Starting from the bottom, if we choose the lower 2, those would be the worlds that are concerned of the Gentile astrologers. But in the Jewish world, there are hidden secrets in the name of Hashem. Now, in the last shiur, we discussed the straight name of Hashem, which refers to the month of Aries. And that is the name, let me see if we can see it, Yud, K, Vav, K, like that. And we explained before that the diffusion of the light of God comes through the letters. So as the letters are in this order, this is the straight, innocent, natural order, the way things are supposed to flow. But it is a wheel, and it keeps turning, and the wheel never stops. Now we're coming to the second combination. Well, let's just take a look at it as long as I'm here. And this is the first combination right here at the top, the Yud, K, Vav, K. But in the second month, as the world turns, and as the sun moves through the constellations, the name changes to this name, Yud, K, K, Vav. Instead of Yud, K, Vav, K, it changes to this. And what Rabbi Yaakov is going to explain to us is a really tremendous secret of Jewish astrology. Now, to get to this, he first talked about the Sfirot, the Partsufim, and he talked about the first Tikkun. That is not the Tikkun, that's the right word, the first month, which is the month of Aries. Let me see if we can get a little better view of that. Yeah. So now we're going to go to the second month. So the second month is really written as Yud, K, K, Vav. Now, he had mentioned before in the previous shiurim that the Yud and the Vav are male aspects, and that the Hey and the female, and the 2 Heys rather, it is the Yud and the Vav are male, the 2 Heys are female. So he says the second permutation, which looks like this, it's male, female, female, male, like that. Taurus in the Hebrew month is called Iyar. We call it Taurus. Also starts with the letter Yud. Just like we had said before, he said in a previous shiur, that the Yuds, the letters that begin with Yuds, refer to the spring. Aries starts with Aries, Taurus, and Gemini. So it also starts with the Yud for the first 3 months of spring, and the last 3 letters, which are K, Vav, K, are the ones to be permuted. So we're going to make a switch in between those 3 possibilities. What happens is that the last Hey, which is the Malchus, is now going up next to the Yud. So look at it now here. This K was originally there. So now it jumps up to the level of being next to the Yud. That's what he's saying. Which is, so he says, we're now going to go up to the next Yud, where you now have Yud, which is Abba, followed by Hey, which is Malchus or the Nukva, giving you the relationship of father, Abba, with the daughter, that's the father-daughter. So the first Hey, which is Bina Ima, that moves to the 3rd spot. So that would be now here, 3. And so what happens there? So let me try to find my 3rd spot to be a mother to the son. So now we have a matchup. He's telling in I don't really understand what this means, so you tell me. See, he tells me that in the month of Taurus, which is the month of May, in the northern hemisphere, it's the spring. It's the deepest part of the spring, the most beautiful, fertile part of the spring, that you have a matchup between father and daughter and mother and son. I'm not sure what that means. Let's see if he gives us any answer. This is the second Avaya, the second energy, which flows from God, expressed through his name permutations. Sometimes the Malchus goes up and unites with Chochel. That is, the final He goes and unites with the first Yud. And then Bina comes down and unites with Tiferet, which is the sun. The Zer Anpin, the Vav. Now the Ramak comments on the book of Proverbs, and he says this: God, in the form of Yud-K Vav-K, with wisdom, everything starts with wisdom, he founded the earth. The earth is a hint to Malchus. Malchus, the earth itself, refers to the final letter He. And for the Malchus is in the secret of the wisdom. In other words, they're combining. For the Malchus is in the secret of the wisdom, which is Chokhmah, and it continues. He says like this: and God prepares the heavens with understanding. For the Tiferes is propelled by the Bina. The Tiferes, which is Zer Anpin, is propelled by the mother. That's the son and the mother. So he's connecting Chokhmah with Malchus through God that through God created the earth through wisdom. Earth is Malchus. So wisdom is inside of Malchus. And Bina with Zer Anpin, which is Tiferes, through God preparing the heavens, which is Zer Anpin, with understanding, which is Bina. Now, all of this, I'm listening, not sure that it's making an easy impression in my mind. So he writes, the Ramak continues. Now this is really a tremendous work of this Reb Yaakov Kronenberg, that he went through all of these firm, and he put it together in a book. And that is the secret of the name Yud K K Vav. That's the permutation of the month of Taurus, of God's name, where the Yud followed by a He, and then by a Vav. So he says the first He that unites with the Yud is the Malchus. And the He, which is next to the Vav, is the Bina. So, and understand the normal flow is Chokhmah to Bina, to Zer Anpin, to Malchus. But now he's moving Malchus in the place of Ima, and he's putting Zer Anpin in the place, let me see if I got that right, he's putting Ima, which is Bina, next to the male aspect, which is Vav, Zer Anpin. It has to be this way for two reasons. Now, why? The first reason is because it's impossible for the first He, which is Bina, that is the Bina in the permutation, which is Yud K K Vav, that Bina there. That's what he means. This is because if it was, then Chokhmah and Bina would be uniting with the Tiferes Zer Anpin, and Malchus would not, and Zer Anpin and Malchus would not be uniting, since they are out of order with Malchus above Tiferes, and this is impossible. Now, I didn't understand that. So, I have a situation. The way that I understand this is you have, where is it now? Where'd you go? Just had that, just looking at it. Yud K K Vav, I know it's up here. So it's around, here it is, Yud K K Vav. So you have the Yuds going into the Nukva, Malchus, moved into that position. And then the K, which is Bina, is moved into the position of right before the Vav. So it is a male-female, female-male. How does this work? Let's try to understand it. He says here, we'll start from here. The first He that unites us with the Yud is the Malchus. And the He, which is next to the Vav, is the Bina. So now you're putting the two He's, the two female aspects together, next to each other, and the two male aspects on the end. And it has to be this way for two reasons. Now, this is a part I want you to understand. The first reason is because it's impossible for the first He, that's Bina, in this combination, Yud, K, K, Vav, if you put it next to the Yud, right? This is because if it was, then Chokhmah and Bina would be uniting, while Tiferes and Zer Anpin, that's the Vav, and Malchus, which is the Nukva, would not be united. Why wouldn't they be united? Since the first two are united, that's Chokhmah and Bina, we said Chokhmah's inside of Bina. Since they are out of order, because in this sequence, the order is not like that. It's not Yud K Vav K, which is male, female, male, female. This is going to be male, female, female, male. And this is impossible because in this sequence, which is the way the world changes and reflects the light of God, is going to be different. So if the Yud and the first Hey, Abba, and the Ima are working in correct order and unity, and the Hey and the Vav, the Nuk and Zah, are out of order, and this must cause unity out of order and unable to work, that is not possible. Now, I'm not sure that I still understand it, so let's try it again. He says, in other words, if you would have the Yud and Hey in unity, this must cause unity in the lower partsufim, because what we understand is this is a mating. So when elements mate, they produce children. So he says in the son and the daughter, that's the Hey and the Vav. And this cannot be since they are out of sync, since it's not working that way. It is that, in fact, the second Hey is the Hey of Ima, instead of the letter Vav, which was over there. So you have to say that the first Hey is the daughter, which is Malchus, and is there together with the Yud, which is her father. So this is uniting in this month. He says that it's the uniting of the father and daughter. And the second Hey, which is now Ima, and she is together with the son Vav. That's explanation of this, of what's going on. So you have now father-daughter and mother-son. So in each case, the father and the mother come first before the son and the daughter. So the second reason is that from the perspective of the son, which is Tiferes, which is the letter Vav, Malchus should always be lower than him. And therefore the Hey, which is higher than the Vav, has to be Bina and not Malchus. Now let's say this again. In the normal sequence of the way we understand it is that male and female is that the male gives to the female. So here you have a situation where the male is giving to Malchus. Again, once again, the permutation. Where is my little permutation here? It's right here. So this is Abba giving to the daughter. And this then again, so then that would be the daughter, though now is above Zeranpin, because normal sequence, which we had Yud K Vav K, and where was that Yud K Vav K I saw you a minute ago? Like this. That normal sequel, made to male to female, is father to mother, mother to son, son to daughter, like that. This is going to be different. So the second reason is that from the perspective of the son, which is Tiferes, Malchus should always be lower than him because he's the one that gives, is supposed to, in the regular sequence, he gives to the female. But she's not there because she's now by the father. So what has to happen? And therefore the Hey, which is higher than the Vav, that is the Hey of Bina, is higher than the Vav. So therefore it's not completely out of place. But whatever that means is that sequence of light, of that type of shining, is going to make a difference in the month of May, which is the month of Taurus. This is Baruch Fleischman, and this is the Tikkun Elevator Kollel.